Hello, welcome back to Say What with James and
So,
Lakesia, and we are here to give you guys our mini reviews and rankings for the movies we saw in February.
yeah, in February we saw 4 movies. We saw Sin Help, Strangers Chapter 3, Crime 101, and last was Dracula was the last movie we saw, and it's pretty much the last.
Yes, definitely. This was the French version of Dracula, and it leads heavily into the romantic tragedy of Dracula. We have Prince Vladimir, and he becomes Dracula after he loses his wife and he renounces God during a war. What happens is he's very in love with his wife and they have to go to war. He makes the priest promise that nothing's going to happen to his wife. They, pray for her or whatever, but they drape the princess out so everybody knows who she is. And you know what happens? She gets killed and he basically is heartbroken. He K-words the priest. And then after 400 years, he's still searching for his wife and reincarnation
of his
lost love. Yeah, so when he finally finds her again in Paris, the movie becomes a tragic story about love, obsession, and redemption. And the gothic atmosphere is strong. You have castles, you have priests, we have those little gargoyle things. Those little jokers was bad too.
Now, I do say this: the fight scenes was tough.
Yeah, Dracula was bad because we had a professor and
He was like a vampire killer.
Yeah, and they were searching for Dracula, and the whole thing is once Dracula found his lost love, he took her back to his castle, but the women that had been bitten and the men, they wanted to take him out so that they could, I guess, have their lives back. But after he found his wife, I'm like, just, leave him alone because that's what he was searching for all the while. But they go to the castle. They take a whole bunch of people too. And Dracula, before he was 400 years old, because he looked like he was 400 years until he took some blood, he was bad on the battlefield. Now, he was a beast.
He could fight.
So him and them little gargoyle things, they was tearing people up.
But the reason why we got his 4, it was more of a love story.
A love obsession.
And it was crazy because there's one scene in the movie where these jokers was dancing.
Yeah.
They were dancing.
But he was
dancing.
biting them.
But it was crazy because they had their whole little routine. They was dancing.
But the little gargoyles, what was funny at the end, they turned back into kids.
Yeah, once they killed Dracula.
And once they killed... Yeah. Well, Dracula actually ended up sacrificing himself for his wife. And I'm just like, okay, the whole goal was that Dracula was looking for his wife. Once he got his wife, they were not going to leave out of the castle. I don't believe so. But...
Oh, you never know, though. He is Dracula.
But when he was... the prince, he didn't want to leave the castle because of the princess. So
yeah, but he had a different thing now. He lived off blood, so
that is true. That is true. So it was. Now I must say this: we had watched one movie, and when we walked out the theater, I think that was that. It was some other movie. You could hear Dracula playing, and the way it was playing, the sounds it was making, you were like, "Wow, I got to see that." But when we went to go see it,
yeah. I think I might have been close to that dance scene.
It probably was, but yeah, it was dead last. I hate to say it. That's a strong pass. So then we have our third movie, which is Strangers Chapter 3.
Yeah, Strangers Chapter 3. I don't know.
Yeah, if you know the Strangers franchise, you already know it's about mass killers who terrorize people for basically no reason. Now, to me, I say this every time. The first one was a classic, should have been left alone. But this one digs deeper into the backstory of the killers, especially Gregory, which I cannot stand, and his twisted family situation.
Yeah, because Greg was him and the young girl that what's her name? Maya killed in the last one, wasn't it? Yeah, Maya killed one of the 3 masked girls, and that was his girlfriend and stuff like that since they were young.
That was his his sweetheart, his childhood sweetheart.
Then
crazy together.
2, they was crazy together. They were young kids, and and come to find out, the sheriff of the town was
Spoiler alert.
Was his dad.
Yes. So you have a survivor named Maya. She gets kidnapped and forced to become part of the killer's ritual.
Yeah.
Wearing the mask and luring victims. So they made Maya become part of it, which was crazy. What follows is corrupt law enforcement. You have serial killers raised in a small town, revenge and survival. There are some intense scenes, but you have Maya's sister and brother-in-law who come to search for her, and they have a bodyguard. James, we always say this, just like in the movie, silence your phone. They have a bodyguard, and he looks like, I don't know if you guys remember Sweet Home Alabama, the friend that was he was Reese's Witherspoon's friend, the black gentleman. He looked just like him. And this Joker was like 6'10", dark as night. And you know what was going to happen. He was the only brother in the whole movie.
But what was crazy, this brother had a gun, and the other guy had a gun.
But wait. No. What was crazy is the sheriff had the gun. And we saw the sheriff drag a body, what we knew was a body, and going to dispose of it. And you know the sheriff is corrupt because you saw what he did. So the sheriff had the gun on you, like James was saying, and he tells you to put your gun down. Now you know you saw the sheriff with a body. What you think he gonna do to you? So the black dude, he got killed like quick. I mean, it was just ridiculous because first of all, they tell him to go in that little trailer. Oh, you're safe here. How are you safe in somebody else's trailer? Yeah, it was just crazy. It was ridiculous. But we didn't have any fires though, did we? She wasn't burning the fire to stay warm this time, was she?
Yeah.
She still was loud though.
Still was stupid.
Yeah, I must agree that The Strangers Chapter 3, I would definitely have to pass on that too. So then our second, and this was actually quite a good movie, which was Crime 101.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good movie because, Chris Hollingsworth,
Chris Williams. Hemsworth.
Hemsworth? I said his name worth?
You got him Hollingsworth.
Well, Chris Hemsworth. Well, whatever. I'm not good with names, Chris.
And Halle Berry.
Yeah, but this story follows Mike Davis. He's a master thief who plans everything carefully.
Was he a master thief?
Yes, he was.
Tried, but he had... For him to be a master thief, his surroundings was kind of off.
Yeah, well, his situational awareness was a little bit off. Well, he plans everything carefully. No violence, but no evidence, no mistakes. But when a biker criminal named Ormond starts interfering with his jobs, everything spirals into chaos. But everything spiraled before the biker interfered because when he did that first job or whatever, and he didn't take the gun from the guy, and the guy took the gun out and it backfired. Spoiler alert.
He could have been dead. And
some of his DNA got left there, so that's what got him. But so his friend Nick Nolte, who he's working for, Nolte had to be
Nick Nolte looked like he's 175.
Yes, I was not gonna say that out of respect, but he definitely did. And they still wanted to give him a role. I couldn't okay, I'm not gonna say it. But at the same time, a detective is closing in on him.
Can tell.
Thank you. That's what I didn't want to say. And a frustrated insurance broker becomes part of the plan. So you have Halle Berry, who's in the movie. She's a class act all by herself. Still gorgeous as ever. But they had her in a role where she was being overlooked in corporate America not only because she's a woman, but because of her age. And they were playing her. And maybe because of her skin tone too, I don't know. But they were playing her. And so she got mad and she was like, Chris Hemsworth, Mike reached out to her because he wanted to put her in on the deal. But little did he know that when the biker roughed her up a little bit, she was going to tell everything. Everything. She didn't care about snitches getting stitches. She was telling everything.
It's because they figured out that Frank Ruffalo, he's the cop.
Mark.
He's the FBI agent.
Yeah.
Yeah, he figured stuff out.
Yeah, but he was good at his police work, as they often are, but terrible in his home life. So his wife was leaving. Yeah. But he ended up letting Halle Berry stay with him after she got roughed up and told everything, and didn't even try to give Mike the clue. But the good thing is, you know, he walked away at the end.
Yeah, because he pretty much helped out the FBI agent too.
Yeah, so
they became kind of friends.
Yeah, so it was very interesting. And then we had.
Well, yeah, I thought he might have been just a detective.
Yeah, but he left him that car. I thought that was wonderful.
Yeah,
it was a little different than what we thought it was going to be, but to me it was still good.
Yeah, it was good.
Still good movie. Definitely recommended. Highly recommended. And then we have number one, which is Send Help. So, first up, another
movie where the ladies getting looked
overlooked. Yes, we always, and this is Women's History Month, Business History Month, whatever. But this movie starts off like a corporate workplace drama, like any other corporate workplace drama, but then it flips into survival thriller. So that lets you know, don't sleep on people, because you never know what people know. Now, Linda, she's a quiet corporate strategist who keeps getting overlooked for promotions.
Kind of corny.
They keep using her knowledge, but they don't want to use her. So her boss's son, you know how that goes, becomes the CEO, and he gives the promotion to his frat buddy instead of her. And the father had promised Linda that promotion. And you already know that's going to cause problems. So then they go on a business trip. And they invite Linda. And they now the CEO's son, now he has his wife or his fiance, she's this beautiful African American model, and they laughing at Linda, like, to her face, behind her back, because of her dress style. So the plane crashes in the Gulf of Thailand.
But what they forgot, they didn't know, Linda loved Survivor.
Yep.
So she
was ready.
She was ready.
Because now it turned into Castaway meets Fatal Attraction.
Yeah.
Linda survives with the CEO, Bradley, and suddenly the power dynamic flips. She's the one who knows how to survive. Fish, hunt, build shelter, all of it. And she's loving it. But here's the twist. Linda is not exactly the hero. The movie slowly reveals that she's dangerous.
Yeah, Linda's crazy.
Manipulative.
Linda was crazy.
She might even be completely unhinged.
Yeah, Linda was a nut.
By the end, it turns into a brutal survival power struggle with lies, poison, murder, and psychological warfare. And the final twist of this movie, she ends up becoming a motivational celebrity after the rescue, while hiding everything she actually did to Bradley. She just wanted him. It was just crazy. But that just lets you know, be careful who you playing with, because you never know what they know or what they can do.
Yeah.
Because Linda, she was.
Yeah, Linda was off the chain.
Definitely. So we definitely recommend that.
Yeah.
Number one for the month of February. So if you saw these movies, which was your favorite? Which would you skip? Meet us in the comments. Let's have that conversation. Thanks for watching. Take care.